Well, as one guy would put on his videos, it's John again. Yeah, it's Weaver, John C. Roseman, California. How you doing? Try to give him all those damn titles and monikers and everything else dippy like that. I'm worried right now because I've got a dog that's still freaking out. For about a month and a half, we've been having the fireworks happening on a sporadic basis during the night. Some nights we have issues with them, and other nights we don't have issues with them, and she's getting used to that pattern, but she hates the noise all the damn time. In fact, she hates the night now because it means too much trouble. We have, as a nation, gone through a hell of a lot in our country's history of the things we can tolerate and the things we can't tolerate. It also boils down to the individual, what we can and we can't tolerate, depending on our level of endurance, I guess, mental and physical. This is one thing that the nation and the world hasn't dealt with in God knows how long. And because of our communication spread that we have right now, we can instantly communicate with everybody if we wanted to. And we do. And we're able to coordinate things with everybody to make sure we're in the know. Well, imagine if we had a century, if we're back in a century and they had World War I going on. Some things were curtailed, some things were censored, and we didn't have all this information as we do right now. We had to do what we were told. This particular generation we have hates being told what to do because it curtails our freedom and it curtails our conveniences. I've said this before many, many times, and I'll continue to say the damn thing. We have a COVID virus that has curtailed our lives. I don't see anybody else protesting a damn virus. We're encouraged to listen to our medical experts out there, the quote-unquote experts on infectious diseases. And even they get baffled, especially when there's a new bug in town and scaring the living crap out of them. They're still trying to get information. People are getting infected, some people live, some people die. And other people are left in limbo wondering what the hell is going on. Are they going to live or are they going to die? And it's no joke. It's all over the place. Some people actually have a technique of surviving, and other people don't. Countries are forced by the nature of their government to do whatever drastic and draconian steps it takes, whatever is necessary to make sure that a spread of a virus this virulent is kept at bay, except for us. We don't listen very well. We don't listen very well to anybody these days. You kidding me? I mean, it's apparent. We have July 4th coming up. We have a nation's holiday coming up. And think of it this way. This particular holiday season we've got here, we celebrate our nation's independence. We celebrate our nation's birth. And we need to celebrate with parties and barbecues and social gatherings. We need to show how patriotic an American is and how strong we are. And here comes the coronavirus. And in the midst of this damn thing, we got a political maelstrom happening at this point. It's the most rockiest year I've ever had. It's most displeasure of trying to survive through because of what things are going through. I mean, what things are happening at this point over here. Nobody predicted that we were going to be trapped in our homes, shutting down businesses and schools, crippling our economy to the point where almost financial bankruptcy and collapse, and maybe the entire system itself, and we're afraid of that. We don't want our system and our way of life collapsed. And the problem is, we may not have much of a choice. That's the terrifying thing that scares the hell out of everyone. We might not have much of a choice at this point over here. And we're going to have other people laughing their asses off at us because of the current administration's inability to get on top of this damn thing when it first came out, when they first heard wind of this damn thing. Before you know it, the beginning of 2020, the last year of our 4-year term of the current administration, and they want to make sure everything else goes without a hitch. Corona-19 comes in and all hell breaks loose. So now we got to freak out left and right. In the meantime, in our own little private neighborhoods, in our own little private situations over here, where we have celebrations of our freedom coming up, we have our own little battles and social situations happening in our small and large towns, in our neighborhoods. Fireworks. It's already been talked about in different videos, all over YouTube and all over social media. A lot of people are turning to homemade fireworks and homemade fireworks shows because they still want to celebrate their independence. They hate the inconvenience. I hate to tell them. This may be the year we're going to have to be inconvenienced. We're going to hate it like crazy because we don't want to be inconvenienced, because this is not what America does. No, we're America of spoiled children, so we're going to have what we want, and we're going to make sure that people suffer at the same time. So when we had the curves flattened out a bit, where the hospital ICU units, hospital beds were just getting rid of the COVIDs, or it's just enough for dealing with the emergencies, when we actually flattened a theoretical curve where the hospitals could be sustained and having no issues, and we have all the equipment necessary, people got lax and lazy, and then they're blaming everybody else but not themselves for putting themselves into this situation because they're inconvenienced. Oh, so they're not liking spending July 4th at home. So they're not liking going out to parties, going out drinking, going out to barbecues, going out to baseball games, going out to social events where fireworks are going to be there, where everybody in your hometown mixes. No, we don't have that. We have your little neighborhoods turning up into little war zones at this point over here, driving our dogs and everybody else crazy, or are sensitive to those loud bangings. This little dog right here, I've had her for about 15, 16 years. She still can't stand sharp noises. She's part Chihuahua, part Dachshund. And the Chihuahua traits are becoming more and more apparent every day. When we get closer to July 4th and even afterwards, because she'll be still shaking up a leaf, even during the daytime. People are using ground fireworks, multiple, sounds like shots fired, firecrackers. And those firecrackers hurt dogs' ears and rattle people's nerves for those who are actually sensitive to that kind of situation. But also shows the insensitivity and the selfishness of our nation and our current generation. We got part of the people bitching and griping about it, trying to make changes and trying to encourage our neighbors to limit their activity. Any other portions going, can't take away my freedom to be an asshole. Actually, by law, we can. By city ordinances, we can. The only problem is having enough manpower to do so. Speaking of manpower, when you live in a county that's oil derived of funding here, when their income gets less than what they project, They start cutting back services. Start shutting off services that make a town. Fire, police, we haven't got enough as it is. Library services. In our town of Rosemount, we're going to be shutting down on a library. We may be getting rid of a truck. We got over 10,000 people. We're going to be hurting like crazy. People are going to suffer because of the income at the point. Okay, come on, go lay down, will you? I know, go lay down. You're all right. It's all right, Mom. It's go on. Go lay down. Shell shock. She's not quite convinced that everything's all right. Like the state of the nation right now, like everybody else, shaking their heads like crazy, trying to figure things out, what's going on. Mamas, nothing. Go on, lay down. Just park your ass. You have to convince and you have to tell them that things will be all right. There's only so much that you can comfort them with, but then again, you have to. They have to see your presence, they have to feel your presence in order to know that they're somewhat safe. And then again, as a nation, are we safe? The other case in point has been talk throughout the years. We're turning into a socialist or communist state. I love it when people keep forgetting their U.S. history or their world history. They were taught this in class. They have access to books. They have access to online material. And what do they end up doing? Not believing any of the damn stuff. They throw it away because somebody else is going to tell them something better. They think that everything else they're getting right now is under socialist and communism rule, and therefore we're going to be screwed over. I got news for you. If we were a communist state, we would have been ruled by one party chairman, and we would have been United Soviet Union of Russia, or the United States of Soviet Union. There would be no America, comrade. There would be order. There would be peace and order under the communist socialist rule. We have a thing against communist threads. Only if we have a communist thread, we are covered under the Union Soviet Socialist Republic ghost. Lenin and Khrushchev and everybody else. Ah. Somebody please wake me up on this stuff, I swear to goodness. Holy moly, I swear to God, these people's intelligence going off the deep end here. Especially in small towns like this that I live in, they're Peyton Place material. They don't believe in some of the outside stuff. They don't believe in the history that they've read and covered from time to time. No, they got to cover somebody else's bullshit. Sorry to use the language, but it happens. Do they not understand what socialism and communism is? They can look at the connotations and denotations. They can look at the definitions for those in dictionaries and thesauruses. They'll be able to tell people what's going on. You settled, God, look. She is like a child scared of the lightning, of the thunder. There's only so much you can do. And she has got to settle down. And the only way she'll settle down is to drive me crazy in order to settle down. She wants to feel safe and secure. The only problem is, in our little society, in our little world right now, there is no such thing as that. Now, what people have considered herd immunity from a disease may be alright for some diseases, but other diseases, you just have to hunker down and isolate and mask up and then man up, okay? Got to be macho about this. We're going to be borrowing the 70s and 80s terminology. And it's scary to do so, because it means we have to change. And oh my God, it's an inconvenience thing to change. But you know what? We're going to change anyway. We're going to adapt, we're going to survive, and if you don't adapt and survive, you're a mass casualty. Consider yourself. Just mark yourself with a body bag. Get your own life support, and actually your life insurance up to speed. If you've got anybody with inheritance, now's the time to hit them up on it. I swear, people just don't get it these days. Life is hitting us and changing things in a way that we believe and think in. Some people are actually thinking that religion's going to be saving our asses at this point over here, and they keep saying that we need more God in our life at this point over here. Okay, that's fine. We'll need more of the higher power, or we need more of the spiritual advisement at this point over here. But putting it to the government system over here is a bad idea because we've had history telling us otherwise. Again, people are ignorant. I said it. This is me for all time. People are ignorant. Those who refuse to study history, well, guess what? They're repeating it all over again. Unless they change things. Either for the better or for the worse. Or for the different, for that matter. That's it. I'm putting you in the bathroom. Getting a timeout. Getting a timeout. It'll be okay for a few minutes. And she thinks I'm punishing her. She wants to feel safe like a child at this point over here. And the problem is, even I don't know if they're going to be doing the fireworks, and she's afraid of that. And there's no way to curtail that situation. There's no way. Believe me, they had a hotline locally in our county of Kern in California that's supposed to be reporting on fireworks problems. They haven't got the manpower to do anything except take down reports, and that's it. It's the people around here have to do things for themselves, and they are refusing to do so. Therefore, the problem keeps on keeping on. And this makes me sick to my stomach because now the situation we've got here concerning about the corona keeps on. Because we keep feeding into the damn thing. We're feeding into it too much. People think I'm strange because they think I'm talking to myself. Well, guess what, boys and girls? Man, I may be talking to myself, but I'm talking to you out there on the internet, down the road, in the future, of what's going on right now, here now, June 30th, 2020, as it's winding down in about 10 more minutes. It'll be July 1st, and it'll be start of the July weekend coming up, where all hell will be breaking loose, and we don't even know how to celebrate properly our July 4th, because we have never been put into this kind of situation in the first place. Never. Not in the history of our country have we ever been reportedly been driven insane by a damn bug. If it had been recorded back in the early 1900s, well, we had World War I going crazy at that point. If we actually had reports of a major flu bug that was sweeping around the world, nobody reported that in the history books, and now it's coming out. But there's medical evidence on this damn thing. There's been information buried for years, and now it's coming out a century later, which I find utterly incomprehended. I'm just bewildered about the damn thing. Why? We should have known about this damn thing about a century ago, but we didn't. Because of censorship during that time, and you gotta love censorship at this point over here. It keeps the information away from the damn general public so they don't freak out left and right. And the doctors are still trying to take care of things left and right. Probably the government decision at this point over here. And if we actually had a different administration, it may have been that way. But no, we've got an administration that thinks everything's going to be all right. It was going to be over with, just 15 cases, no problem. Just they'll wipe it out stuff. 100,000 Americans so far. It's already been coming up on 7 months. 7 months going to be starting in about the next few minutes. And how many more corona cases we've got in the country as it is? How many more people are going to be infected by this damn thing? Yes, infected by the damn thing. And surviving is a different thing altogether. We're concerned about the death toll at this point. And not saying anything concerning about the survivors at this point, because we don't know what the after effects are going to be for the survivors. Are they going to be helpful? Are they not going to be helpful? Are they going to be getting the virus on a recurrent basis? Is their immune system and their health system so compromised at this point, they're going to be open season for anything and everything else. And let alone swine flu part 2 coming up. If 2008 wasn't bad enough, now we got this thing coming out of China. And it hasn't crossed the borders yet. But China's reporting on this damn thing. So everybody's going, see, it's their fault, it's their fault. I'm not about to blame China for every damn little ill we've had so far. They'll blame communists, they'll blame Democrats, people will blame each other for this damn shit. I blame Mother Nature for the damn horror. Because Mother Nature put us into this damn headlock. So now we got to deal with it. If we weren't dealing with the COVID-19 at this point over here, we'd be dealing with our own internal politics. We'd be still dealing with the fireworks issues. But at least a lot of people will be trying to enjoy themselves during July 4th. This year, there is no celebration for America's independence. Except maybe for a change of party, possibly. If we live long enough, and if our country survives long enough, that is. I hope so. Happy July 4th of July, guys. There's no happy holiday for all of us. We just have to survive.